Hello and welcome to today's video. The purpose of today's webinar will be to review the CARES Act and the CARES Child Care Scholarship. We'll briefly go over a review of the fund, how New York State is spending the funds, and we'll also discuss all eligibility criteria and necessary application and paperwork that you need to make note of if you're interested in participating in this fund. Let's get started. The Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security, or CARES Act, was signed into law on March 27th. The federal government then released money to the states to fund some specific programs. Each state was then able to decide on how they wanted to roll out the CARES funding, which is why you may see each state may be doing things a little bit differently. For the child care portion of the CARES Act, New York State has decided to use the funding to cover the following. First, it's paying for child care for essential workers who make up to 300% of the federal poverty level. Second, it's purchasing supplies for child care providers who remain open and operating and providing care to those essential workers in our community. On this slide, I'll briefly walk you through the child care program for essential workers. In New York State, in order to be eligible to be approved for CARES Act funding to pay for child care, a parent must A, be considered an essential worker who's working outside of the home. Now that's very important to make note of. The essential worker must be working outside of the home. If you have a parent who is working inside of the home or is able to work remotely but is still an essential worker, at this time they do not qualify for the funds. In addition, a parent must have income that is less than 300% of the federal poverty level, or $78,600 for a family of 4. If you are working with a family who is interested in utilizing this fund to pay for child care, it is important to note that 2 applications must be completed. The first is a CARES parent application, and this can be found on our website at wnychildren.org/cares. This walks the parent through a series of questions and also reviews the income criteria a little bit further. The second form that is required for participation in this program is from the provider. A provider must fill out a provider information profile, or a PIP. This form will walk you through a series of questions and also get you set up to be able to receive the funding to pay for this child care. This form can also be found on our website at wnychildren.org/cares. The next portion that we will discuss is the provider supplies. New York State received money to purchase supplies for child care providers, and that money was spread across all of the regions. Those funds are to be used to purchase emergency supplies for child care programs who meet eligibility criteria. We will specifically review that eligibility on the next slide. Grants will be worth up to $600 of materials, and that number is specifically dependent on the number of open programs in your region who qualify. What can be included in that grant has been dictated by New York State and the federal government. At this time, it is very important to note and to point out that Child Care Resource Network is not able to make any exceptions. At this time, we are to utilize the funds to purchase emergency supplies for child care programs. Child care programs will not be receiving specific funding, nor are they able to put in requests for specific materials. Let's discuss eligibility. In order to be eligible for a CARES funding supplies grant, a child care program must A, be a licensed or registered child care program in New York State, and B, they must be open on or before May 15th, 2020. If you are temporarily closed at this time and will not be open by May 15th, your program is not eligible for CARES funding. At this time, it is also important to note that legally exempt providers are not eligible to apply for this funding at this time. You must be a licensed and registered program in New York State, and you must be open on or before May 15th, 2020. If you fill both of those criteria and are interested in participating, you must have filled out the CARES PIP, or Provider Information Profile, on our website. This is the same form that is required if you are providing care for a CARES scholarship child or essential worker. It is one form, and it is important to really pay attention and fill this form out. There will be no other application for supplies. I also want to take a moment to point out that if you are interested in receiving these supplies, but are not able to care or provide care for an essential worker at this time, you must still complete the provider information profile. On the form, you will be able to make note that you are open and operating, but not accepting new referrals or new children at this time. This is the only form that we will be using to purchase the supplies. Again, that form can be found on our website at wnychildren.org/cares. Let's review some next steps. So if you are an open program that has filled out your CARES PIP on or before May 15th, your grant will automatically be delivered to you. All programs who fill out the PIP will receive a standard health and safety kit based on modality. The grants will be mailed directly to the program address that you have listed on your CARES PIP. So it is very important to make sure you take your time when filling that out to ensure that all of the information is correct. The supplies will come directly from a distributor and not delivered from CCRN. Grants will be ordered on May 15th and will arrive at your program as items become available. Really pay attention because you may receive multiple shipments depending on product availability. We are working with a supplier, and we're hoping that these can get to you as soon as possible. Please be patient and know that we are running into some delivery issues, so we are working as hard as we can to get you these supplies as quickly as we can. That brings us to the conclusion of our webinar. We hope that you found it informational and informative. And again, if you have any questions, we're always here for you. You can reach out to us at Child Care Resource Network via phone at 716-877-6666, extension 3013, or you can email wnycaresfund@gmail.com. As always, our Facebook and our website are available to you and are updated on a regular and continual basis with information, helpful tips, as well as links for supplies and different things that you may be eligible for at this time. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us and give us a call or visit our website. Thank you so much and have a great day.